Hello, my name is Sinan Shakur and I am an engineer from Astrabyte. Today I am going to talk about Kotlin Scope Functions. Now, what are Kotlin Scope Functions? Scope functions are functions that execute a block of code within the context of an object. These functions provide a way to give temporary scope to the object under consideration where specific operations can be applied to the object within the block of code, thereby resulting in a clean and concise code. Now, we have 5 different scope functions: let, run, with, apply, and also. We can start with commonly used scope function in Kotlin, which is let. Let's start with an example. This is the basic functionality of the let. From the code snippet, we can see that although let operation is performed on a person object, the output of the code is a string value and not the person object. This means that let operator provides an option to perform an operation on the current object and return any value based on the use case. Now, it is not necessary to write return at let. This is only done to improve the code readability. In Kotlin, if the last statement in a let block is a non-assignment statement, it is by default a return statement. For example, this code also behaves the same way since the last statement is a non-assignment statement. So what happens if we don't return anything in the let block? It is similar to calling a function that has no return value. So let's modify the function. We can see that since there was no return value in the let block, and hence printing the same would indicate that the print functionality is called upon a unit function. The one advantage of using let is it refers to the contextual of object by using it keyword, and so it can be renamed to a readable lambda parameter. For example, yes, this is how it is done. This can be very helpful if we have nested let blocks, and since all let blocks refer to the context of their respective objects as it might be difficult for the compiler which objects we are referring to. The second advantage is that it easily helps in providing null checks. Let's say we make the name parameter of the person class nullable, and we want to print the name of the person only if it is not null variable. Then we can write simple, clean and concise code like this. Yes, this is how it is working. Now go to the next scope function, run. The run operator is similar to the let operator in terms of accepting a return value that is different from the object on which the scope function is being applied to. Let's do an example. This function behaves as same as let function that I did previously. Here the difference is the run operator refers to the context of object as this, not each. Now I will show you another example. Here, inside the run block, I have assigned a new name and returns the instance instead of the statement. This is one of the use cases of the run. We can initialize an object and returns instance. One thing about the run operator is that this keyword is redundant when we use the object properties. Here we can remove this keyword on the property name. Let me change the code. Another thing is that since the context is referred to as this, it cannot be renamed to a readable lambda parameter like run does. So depending on the use case and requirement, we have to choose between the let and run operator. Let's go to the next scope function, width. The width operator is completely similar to the run operator that I just explained. It also refers to the context of the object as this, similar to how the run operator uses it. I will show an example. So if width is same as run, then what's the difference? How should we choose between these two? Now this is an interesting case. Let's consider a case where the person object can be nullable. Let me change the code. We can see that the context of the object referred to as this is nullable type of person, and hence to correct this we need to change the code like this. So performing a null check using a width operator is difficult, and this is where we can replace it with run like this. This code looks a lot cleaner than the width. Now let's go to the next scope function, apply. Apply function is similar to the run functionality only in terms of referring to the context of the object as this and not it, and also in providing the safety checks. Let's do an example. You can see this is just the basic functionality of the apply. Now we can locate on the difference between apply and run. Let me change the code for that. You can say that this code works fine. Now let me put a return statement on apply block. You can see the error. The type mismatch, infer type is string but unit was expected. This means that we should not return anything in apply block. The difference between apply and run is that run accepts a return statement, whereas apply does not accept a return statement and always returns the same object which it is referring to. In Android development, apply can be useful in many cases. We have many scenarios where we should return an instance of indent or an error dialog extra by adding specific attributes to them. Now let's go to the next scope function, also. The also function is similar to the let functionality only in terms of referring to the context of the object as it and not this, and also in providing null safety checks. Let's do an example. Here we can see the usage of readable lambda parameter similar to what we have seen in the let operator case. The advantage of using also operator is that while doing a chain of operations, this operator helps in evaluating the current operating value if required. Let's suppose we did not use this also operator in the above case. We should have returned the code like this. Let me change the code. Although this gives the same output, the chain in which the operations are being held is broken, and that won't make a good readable code. So also operator is very useful in this case. Now I have explained all the scope functions. Now I will show you the summary. This is the table of summary. Here you can easily find that which scope function will return result or object and how they are referring to context of objects. Thanks for watching. This is Sinan Shaukat signing off.